Today is March the 10th, 2013, and it's a little over 50 degrees out here right now in central New Jersey. It's about 52 actually. I'm out in my garage next to the snot rod, and I wanted to share a radio story with you, a ham radio story in particular that hopefully it touches you as much as it did me, and kind of goes along like this. Last year, up in northern New Jersey, there's Sussex Amateur Radio Club has their Hamfest, and they do really a wonderful job. They usually have it in July. And I was walking around the fairgrounds, and I came across a gentleman, and his call is N2MDD. His name is Harold. And Harold had a little stand with a table and some stuff they had put out to sell. And of course me, I'm one always looking at old tube gear and old radios and things like that. He had two fairly nice Halcrafters radios on his table, and I got to talking to him about them. And we talked for about 5 minutes or so, and then the president of our own local radio club, Mike KB2VRM, came by, and I introduced Mike to Harold, and the three of us were chatting, and I was already there for a little while, so I kind of wanted to move on and start looking at other things, because there's a lot to see at any Hamfest, as you well know. Well, what ultimately happened was that Harold, after talking to Mike, decided that the two radios they put out that I was talking to him with, he had picked them up from a silent key that he was basically friends with, and he felt that in his heart that would be what he would want to do is just to donate them to our radio club, so we can sell them or raffle them or whatever to make money for our club, which I thought was the nicest thing. So here's an email that he had sent to our club president, Mike. I'm so glad to be able to do this for your club on behalf of the previous owner, Tom N2ONK, who is the silent key, and his family. While we had not met until 1991, I know that both Tom and I enjoyed many years of shortwave listening before making the leap into ham radio, and that falls into my category too. I've listened to shortwave for years and years and years, and just got my ticket about 6 years ago. I met Tom at a State Line Radio Club meeting. They live in upstate New York. Back then, shortly after we each got our tickets, then learned of his association with Giffner Shortwave, which had operated out of Park Ridge, New Jersey for 40 plus years, and his interest in shortwave radio listening. Tom was also a school teacher who had a strong interest in getting more people actively involved with the hobby. Several of us eventually formed our own club, Rockland Wireless, and we even joined up with the fine folks of the Chestnut Ridge Radio Club. I'd fallen out of touch with Tom and was saddened to learn of his passing back in 2009. By donating these two receivers to your club, I believe we are extending Tom's legacy and love for the hobby. I got a strong sense of that same set of friendship and community during our brief interaction at the Hamfest. I'm glad that the radios will be enjoying and looking forward to partaking in your Hamfest this coming June. And signed 73's N2MDD Harold. So that was I was just blown away by this whole thing. And Mike basically I have the radios. The two radios are basically an SX130 Halcrafters with a matching, I think the model number is an SS50 speaker. It has the matching speaker. And also there's an SX99 Halcrafters. So we're in the house now. But the second radio was a Halcrafters SX99, and although we had decided not to auction it this year, we'll probably auction it next year. And it's only because it was a request that I had made so that I could find a matching speaker. So if anybody has I'm trying to remember the model number, S46 or an S46B speaker that's in nice condition they would like to donate, or they could sell it to me, at a reasonable price, I'd buy it. I'm not looking for something that's mint, but I don't want something that's been left outside and totally rusted. That's just impossible to restore. So I'm looking for, again, it's an S46 or S46B speaker. Let me tell you a little bit of something. So we'll be auctioning off the SX130 and the SX130. I'm trying to remember. I still can't remember the speaker number. But it's a matching speaker. I think it's an S50. So anyhow, let me tell you a little bit about our Hamfest. It's coming up Saturday, June the 15th, between 8 and 12 p.m. at Piscataway High School. I'll put this up so you guys can see it. This is not a good thing. I just printed this off my printer, so I'll put it up so you can see it better. We will be auctioning off those radios. There'll be a grand prize drawing. Information about the Hamfest can be found at W2QW.org /Hamfest. You can find all the information out there. You could also, we have a talk-in on our two frequencies of 146.625 and 442.250, and they both use the same PL, which is 141.3. You could also use, there's going to be people monitoring the simplex frequency as well, which is 146.52. Basically, I think that anybody that comes is going to have a good time. It's $7 general admission. The tailgating spaces are $7 plus the $7 admission charge. We are open to the sellers at 6 a.m. and the buyers at 8. So there isn't too much more information you need to know on that. And while I'm talking about this, I want to stress that for years and years, since our Hamfest has moved out of Denellen, and we are the Denellen Hamfest. I've heard people talk on HF, I've heard people talk in meetings about Hamfest in general. We're alive and well. We haven't gone away. We just moved to a different spot. So we are the old Denellen Hamfest. We just moved over to Piscataway from Denellen, which is only one town over. So, you know, if you've heard these rumors, just throw them out the door. I'll be there with the El Camino with my new motor. So if you want to go see that. Also, fans of my page, also you may be familiar with Alan, W2QW, who's just done some wonderful things and taught a lot of things. And I picked up a lot of things from Alan on working on oscilloscopes. So if you have an oscilloscope or you'd like to buy one but not sure how to use it, go to his site. It's excellent, and he'll be there. And Alan usually sets up a 40 meter QRP station right at the Hamfest. So there'll be a lot to see, a lot to do. Come stop by and say hello, and hopefully we're going to see you on June the 15th. So this is Radio Wild saying, typically, don't throw those old radios out, fix them up unless they're junk, and we'll see you. Bye.